two newlywed couples decide to go on an adventurous rafting trip for their honeymoon. They soon arrive at the river, where they are introduced to Nick, an experienced local guide who has extensive knowledge of the surrounding forest and waterways. They board the raft, and Nick gives them brief instructions on how to paddle properly, keep balance, and steer the boat. Seeing how excited they are, Nick suggests heading into more dangerous rapids, confidently assuring them that he can manage the risk. Before continuing, Nick collects everyone's mobile phones, warning them that water damage is almost unavoidable on trips like this. Everyone hands theirs over except AJ, who refuses, saying he needs his phone for an important work meeting. As they paddle on, Nick explains that rafting has been his family's profession for generations. His mood then turns serious as he recounts the disappearance of his grandfather, who vanished years earlier while guiding tourists. Months later, a search team found only his uniform and scattered bones. Investigations later revealed that a brutal cannibalistic tribe lived near the river, known for killing and eating outsiders. Maya and Jasmine are visibly disturbed, but Nick reassures them that the tribe's land is strictly off-limits and closely guarded. Elsewhere in the forest, two bikers race through narrow woodland paths while live-streaming their adventure to gain online views. Driven by the desire for more attention, they ignore a warning sign and venture into restricted territory. The noise of their bikes fills the forest until, without warning, a sharp attack slices the man's throat, sending him crashing to the ground. The woman becomes trapped but manages to escape, only to discover her boyfriend dead with his throat brutally torn open. She runs through the forest screaming until she stumbles into a huge cave. Inside, the walls are smeared with blood and marked with disturbing carvings that suggest ritualistic behavior. She pulls out her phone, filming everything and begging her viewers for help. Before she can flee, a tribal warrior steps into view and brutally kills her. Back on the river, the group remain unaware of the horrors unfolding nearby and continue their trip with Nick. When night falls, they stop along the riverbank to camp. As they sit around the campfire, Nick shares more grim stories about the tribe. Maya is clearly shaken, but before she can say much, AJ lashes out angrily, accusing Nick of frightening everyone unnecessarily with such tales. Later that night, Jasmine finds herself unable to sleep and wanders into the forest. Before she can go far, AJ grabs her from behind. The two reveal they are secretly having an affair. The following morning, the group realizes that Richie is missing. Nick notices that one of the boats is gone and assumes Richie must have taken it. Worried that he may have drifted into the restricted zone, Nick gathers the others and they head out on another raft to search for him. As they move downstream, Nick warns that the current is getting stronger and may lead to a waterfall. He urges them to turn back and call for help, but the group refuses to abandon Richie. Eventually, they locate Richie's abandoned boat along with a discarded life jacket. AJ insists on going ashore with Jasmine and Maya, while Nick stays behind. He warns them that if they don't return within an hour, he will leave. Ignoring his warning, the three venture deeper into the forest, unknowingly entering the forbidden land. Meanwhile, Nick hears strange sounds and follows them cautiously. He soon spots a tribal warrior sleeping nearby. The warrior awakes instantly and chases him. Nick runs desperately, shouting for the others, but they are too far away to hear. He jumps into the raft and paddles frantically. For a brief moment, everything goes quiet and he believes he's safe. But suddenly, the warrior bursts out of the water, drags Nick under, and kills him instantly. At the same time, the others continue deeper until they reach a cave. Inside, they discover a helmet covered in blood, the same one worn by the murdered biker girl. Panic begins to rise, but suddenly, Richie steps out of the shadows. Jasmine rushes to hug him in relief. When asked where he had been, Richie explains that he couldn't sleep and had wandered into the cave during the night. When they made it back to the riverbank, they called out for Nick, but no one answered. With no guide and no other choice, they got into the boat themselves. Not long after, they spotted another boat drifting nearby. It was Nick's. As they searched the area, they noticed a large pot hanging over a fire. When they looked inside, horror washed over them. Nick's severed head was being boiled. At the exact same moment, a tribesman suddenly attacked AJ with a blade. AJ barely managed to block the strike, while Jasmine and Maya fought back, smashing the attacker's head with rocks and stabbing him repeatedly until he stopped moving.
The group tried to escape by continuing down the river, but the strong current ripped the boat away from them and forced them to leave it behind and continue their escape on foot. Nearby, the injured tribesman dragged himself toward the riverbank. Before he could get far, one of his own people approached and killed him, because no warrior was allowed to live in pain. As the couples pushed deeper into the forest, they expected an attack at any moment. When night arrived, they agreed to take turns keeping watch. Richie volunteered to go first, sitting alone in the dark. Later, Maya joined him, and during their quiet conversation, Richie finally broke down. He confessed how crushed he was after discovering Jasmine's affair with AJ. He revealed that Jasmine had struggled to get pregnant for years, yet only a month earlier she told him she was expecting a baby, and he knew the child couldn't be his. Maya, who was also devastated by AJ's betrayal, tried to comfort Richie. She encouraged him to stay strong even though the pain felt unbearable. Later that night, it was AJ's turn to keep watch. Mosquitoes swarmed around him, so he covered his skin in mud to protect himself. Suddenly, he realized the tribesmen had picked up their scent and were moving closer. Thinking fast, AJ covered himself completely in mud and buried himself in the wet soil, leaving only part of his face exposed. The hunters passed by, completely unaware that he was hiding just inches beneath them. When one tribesman moved ahead of the others, AJ sprang out and attacked. The fight was fierce, but at the last moment, Richie appeared and tackled the man. Before Richie could get back up, more tribesmen emerged from the darkness and quickly overpowered him. AJ crawled closer, watching in terror as Richie was dragged away. Richie looked directly at him, begging through tears not to be left behind. But AJ believed the only thing he could do was save Jasmine and Maya first, promising himself he would come back for Richie. The tribesmen then pulled Richie into their camp, where the entire clan gathered in a circle. As chanting filled the air, the ritual began. Instead of killing him right away, one of them cut off his leg, leaving him alive, bleeding and helpless. Meanwhile, Jasmine and Maya waited anxiously by the riverbank until AJ finally returned. Jasmine immediately asked where Richie was. AJ lied, telling her he was right behind him, then urged them to keep moving. They continued walking until they discovered a small boat. The boat had no paddles and drifted slowly with the current. Completely exhausted, Jasmine and Maya eventually fell asleep. AJ stayed awake, restless and filled with guilt. He quietly went ashore, placed his phone on a tree branch and played a loud recording to attract attention. As expected, a tribesman appeared, drawn to the strange noise. AJ attacked from behind, but once again his strength was overwhelming. He slammed AJ into the ground, wrapped a rope around his neck and hanged him from a tree, calmly waiting for Jasmine and Maya's boat to float closer. But AJ refused to give up. He spotted a knife stuck in the tree and managed to grab it, cutting himself free. He and the tribesmen crashed into the river together, fighting violently underwater. The tribesmen tried to drown him, but AJ managed to take his weapon and finally kill him. For the first time, hope flickered. But as AJ climbed back onto the riverbank, he saw more tribesmen closing in. From the boat, Jasmine and Maya screamed for AJ to come back, but instead, AJ was overwhelmed by guilt. Images of Richie being dragged away haunted him. Determined to make things right, he picked up a weapon and charged at the waiting hunters. He fought fiercely, but there were too many of them. Meanwhile, the river carried Jasmine and Maya far away from the violence. Eventually, they climbed up a hill and came across local villagers. The villagers rescued them and led them safely out of the deadly restricted area.